Hello, we're the
Cooktop
Cooktop
Heroes
Heroes
from Farmington, Maine.
I'm Zoe.
I'm Grace.
I'm James.
I'm Ben.
I'm Thomas.
I'm Zeke. And I'm Alden. And this is our presentation. Are you or a loved one struggling to stay in your home? Are they hard of hearing, forgetful, or slightly confused? Then the perfect product for them is the spectacular Senior Safety Stove. This stove has amazing new technology.
If there's no weight on the burner, the gas won't turn on. And after the food is taken off the stove, if the senior forgets to turn the stove off, it will turn itself off automatically after a few seconds. And there's also a timer feature, so you or your loved one can set the burners to turn off at a certain time, in case the senior forgets that there's something on the stove.
When I started to lose my hearing and become forgetful, I wanted to stay in my own home, but I also didn't want to use a ridiculous electric stove. This product was able to satisfy all my needs. Without it, I would have had to move into a nursing home. This is what happened. Hit it this time, Babe Ruth.
Pops, it's 2012. Babe Ruth is dead. And the tea kettle was whistling for 5 minutes. You're lucky I was in there to take it off.
It was? I didn't hear it. I thought I took it off.
Pops, you're going to burn this whole entire house down if you keep forgetting this kind of stuff. What are we going to do?
I, the Cooktop Hero, will help you with this spectacular Senior Safety Stove. Your problems will be solved. This stove has a timer that will shut the burners off after a certain amount of time that you can program into the stove yourself. So it won't matter if your senior parent doesn't hear the tea kettle or even forgot about it. Your senior parent can cook safely and stay at home.
Oh, thank you, Cooktop Hero. I was so worried about my dad staying in his home because he is sometimes forgetful and is hard of hearing. But now I know that he is safe with this amazing new stove.
Now, you're probably wanting to know more about how the stove works. Here is the inventor to tell you all about it.
How does our stove work, you ask? Well, for starters, there's a little push switch that is activated when there's a pot or pan placed on the burner. That sends a signal to the gas solenoid valve, which is what's controlling whether there's gas going into the stove or not. When the gas solenoid valve is activated, it lets gas into the stove to be ignited and burned. There's also a timer that can automatically shut off your stove in case your senior forgets that there's food cooking on it.
Now, you're probably wanting to know how much of a problem this really is. Here's the fire marshal to tell you about it.
As a fire marshal, I have seen and heard of many cases of older people catching their food on fire because they have forgotten about putting it on the stove. In fact, leaving a stove unattended is the leading cause of all kitchen fires, and people over 80 have a 3 times higher risk of dying in a fire than the rest of the population.
Think about it. What do you need to do to use your stove safely?
You need to watch your food carefully on the stove, and if you do end up with a fire, you shouldn't use water on it, depending on the type of fire.
But seniors may not know that using water would make a grease fire worse, or they may not have a fire extinguisher to use instead. Some seniors may not know what to do. A senior's reaction time is slower than the average person.
You may be saying to yourself, this product won't help me, I have a smoke detector. Well, smoke detectors aren't always in the kitchen, because if they were, they would be going off all the time. And by the time your smoke detector goes off, it may be too late.
So, this spectacular Senior Safety Stove would prevent the fire altogether instead of just alerting you that it's there. This could make all the difference.
Exactly. By having an automatic shut-off timer, we decided that we could prevent the fire altogether. Because the burner shuts off when weight is lifted off of it, things around the burner can't catch fire. And because it won't turn on with no weight on it, seniors won't be tempted to heat their houses with the stove. After all this work on the stove, I hired the Cooktop Hero to help me get the word out.
This stove would help solve the growing problem of seniors and fires. It would make staying in their homes safer and easier for seniors.
So buy a spectacular Senior Safety Stove today!
Nicely done.